If you could change any choices you have ever made, would you? You can always make another choice and change the course of your success. Everyone has the potency to make inspired choices. Get ready to listen, share, and experience the creativity that is you. Now, here is the host of Inspired Choices radio show, Christine McIver.
Yes, that is me. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Inspired Choices Show, a show all about business and how you can manage your life, your emotions, anything and everything that's going on with you and grow a prosperous business. Hi, everybody. I'm Christine McIver. I'm a business optimization expert. I work with business owners in all industries to really help them bring together everything they've already created, find the gaps where they need to link things together, what they need to add, and bringing it all together to bring ease and joy and pleasure and financial growth in their business. I don't know how many of you are out here and you've been trying this and trying that, and you've taken lots of different courses, you've read lots of different books, and it doesn't seem to be working. Well, what if there's a way that we can connect everything together and what you've already done, and we can really start to optimize where you're at and bring you towards the business targets that you're desiring? That's what I do. So reach out to me, Christine at inspiredchoices.ca, and I will definitely work with you on that. So tonight, our show is all about shifting tides in business. How many of you are out here in doing your business? You know, primarily you're a solopreneur or you have a team of less than 10 people, and you're trying to do way too much and feeling like you are drowning in the undertow of change, right? Well, here's the thing. Tonight, we're going to talk about all of those shifting tides and how you can move beyond the challenge of the undertow, how you can ride the wave and really enjoy your life while you're creating your business, while you're doing what you're brilliant at. What I've said so many times, and you'll hear it from me again and again, is your business came to you so it could come through you. Let's stop fighting. Let's stop resisting. Let's start to really bring in the pleasure that's available for each and every one of you in business. I love business. To me, when I get to work in my business and I get to work with clients in their business, it's fun. It's play to me. Do I have frustrating days? Hell yes. Have I wanted to throw in the towel at times? Most certainly. Will I in the future? Probably. But primarily, it's pleasurable to me. And I'm always seeking ways that I can create in a way that brings more pleasure for me. And then I pass that on to my clients. I know that business can be pleasurable. But when we are working from the outside in, instead of the inside out, it creates absolute chaos, confusion, frustration, and sometimes financial collapse. That's not necessary. And so, with all of the changes that are happening in our world, with all of the changes that are going on, it's so important for us to understand what change looks like in a business and to really learn how to shift with business. So, let me read to you right now what today's show is all about, and then we're going to jump right in. So, shifting tides in business. As you change, your business changes. As the world around you changes, your business changes. How do you keep the ship moving forward with all the shifting and changes you experience or may experience? The one thing that is consistent is change. And I know if you're not in a great place, you just hate the sound of that. But that is really true. Learning to lead yourself as opposed to holding on for dear life and your business through change is paramount for your sanity and the success of your future business and financial health. So, tonight I'm going to take you through some different scenarios and business owner journeys and what choices and tools that you can support that will support you in this ever changing world around you. So, how many of you right now are frustrated in business or you feel like you don't know what to be doing? You feel like you're losing it. It's like everything's out of your grasp. You've been trying so many things and you feel as though it's not working. If you're in that space, I want you to ask yourself, am I seeking the answers from what everybody else is doing? Many of us seek the answers from what others are doing. We perceive, judge that other people are successful in what they're doing because the way they show up on social media, right? The things that they're posting. That could be true, or it could be completely a facade. I know the philosophy around posting on social media is only show them your good side, only tell them the good things. Well, you can take it one step further and say, okay, if that's all they're doing, maybe they're making this good stuff up so that they show up as being already successful. Remember that saying, um, fake it till you make it? That is a saying that I used. I'll tell you, in my very first business I was in a cosmetic company, and we actually did home shows. I know I'm probably aging myself, but it was a great start for me to learn a lot about business. And one of the the lines that we were always told was to fake it till you make it. It did work to a degree. But if people are showing up and they're faking that they're successful, they're faking that they know what they're doing, they're faking that they've got it all figured out, and you are copying or trying to mimic what they're doing so that you are successful, well, you're just faking somebody else's faking, right? That's not going to lead you in a direction of success. And yes, there are amazing people out there in the world that are there to contribute and that you can be looking at, but you've got to always come back to you. You have got to always check in on what's true for you and check in on where you're at in your business. Are you one of these people who are just pedaling as fast as you possibly can in your day to day to try to stay ahead of these tides? Well, that's like trying to swim upstream with, with not being able to catch your breath, with not having any extra tools, with, being weighted down with worry and fear and being pulled through the tides with absolutely no hope of moving forward. That doesn't work. It's never worked. It didn't work when I tried to do it. So many clients, so many colleagues that I've spoken to, they've tried to do it. It doesn't work that way. Truly, one of the biggest things that you can do for your business and for your sanity is to slow down so that you can speed up. Slow down and do some evaluation. Slow down and spend time with your business. Spend time with yourself. Stop worrying about what everybody else is doing. Stop trying to keep up with the Joneses, because the Joneses, they broke. Their business went under a long time ago. You're not supposed to have a business like everybody else. You're not. You're not supposed to have the same fingerprint. It's the exact same thing. Your business is different. Your business is different because of you and the energy you bring to the table. Well, if you're looking at what everybody else is doing and you're trying to shift through all of the changes in the world based on what everybody else is doing, you're going to miss the signals are what are there to contribute to you. This is super important, my friends, and it's something that I really want to support you on. So stick around through the show. I've got so much that I want to share with you, and I'm going to challenge you. Tonight, I'm going to challenge you to really make the commitment to yourself. You deserve to be happy in business, and you deserve to enjoy business, even when things are challenging. You absolutely deserve to be joyful. And we live, sometimes it doesn't feel like it, but we do live in a friendly universe, and the universe does have your back. But it's oftentimes reflecting back to you the worry, the concern, the fears, the scarcity that you're operating from, even if you don't say it out loud. You don't need to be. And I get it. I get it. I'm going to tell you stories tonight about where I was at and how I came through that. And I'm going to show you the truth of what's available to you. But the thing is that you've got to be willing to be with you, and you've got to be willing to make different choices. So wherever something isn't working for you, be willing to look at that. Now, whatever I tell you tonight, you choose what works for you. You might think I'm full of it. You might think there's only one thing in here for you. Well, if there is, I'm glad that you got one thing from it. What I'm here to do is to tell you my truth and bring my many, many years of business to the table and marry those two together to show you what truly is possible. The possibilities are available for anyone who is looking for them. And the possibilities for you to be able to grow a business and be joyful and successful is absolutely available. It doesn't take years. It doesn't take months and months. It takes one thing: your willingness to acknowledge that you're not doing great in some areas and your willingness to change. That's it. That's it. Things are changing anyways. If you're not changing, if you're not pivoting, if you're not making choices that really do match and work for you, you're going to be going under. You're going to be going under the toe, as it were, with the tides from tonight's show. So I'm really glad that you're here. Thank you so much for joining. Thank you for joining Danielle and Janet. I can see you both live in the chat room. Also, my amazing producer, Sarah. I'm so glad that you are all here tonight. Let's change this collectively. If you're listening live, we can change this for everyone that's connecting in. And for all of you that are listening after the show is live, thank you for hitting that play button. I really do hope and wish for you to have more joy and success in your business. So let's get into it. The very first thing that we need to identify is that change is inevitable. One of the greatest things, and I say greatest with a tongue in cheek, one of the greatest things that we do is fight against the change. And I can tell you that was me. I always wanted to get things set and then, like, don't change. I want it to be exactly the way it is because I'm a checkbox girl. Anybody else out there a checkbox girl? I like to check, that's done, check, that's done, check, that's done. I resisted having to change, having to go in and reevaluate and look at what's required again and again, repeatedly, because I wanted to be done with it. Well, when you're doing that, what you're actually doing is you're resisting. You're resisting. And who's to say that the change is going to be negative? What if you let go of resistance and you opened up to allow something new to contribute, a new way of doing things? If you've ever worked in the corporate world and you went in as the new employee and you had a suggestion because you're brand new, you can see with new eyes, and you said, "What if we tried it like this?" And somebody came along and they said, "That's not the way we do it. This is the way we've always done it." Oh my gosh. I can't tell you how many times I've heard that said to me and times that it actually came out of my mouth. And I shocked myself when it came out of my mouth. We as human beings resist change. Why? Because we fear that something on the other side is going to be worse. It's not. What's on the other side is a new choice you can say yes to, or you can say no to. You can move with the change, or you can resist it and use up all of that amazing brilliance that you have in the resistance and kind of miss the boat on the new possibilities. So please acknowledge that change is constant, both in our personal lives and in business. It's going to be constant. So if you drop that resistance, and you start to ask other questions, you are going to move along with the tides of change with much more ease. And in fact, you will be less focused on the walls of resistance, and you'll be more open to seeing the changes and starting to receive new possibilities, new ideas, and you'll be open to asking more questions and receiving more information. You could be asking questions of the universe. You can be asking questions of your business. I sit here in my office and sometimes I'll just ask a question out loud, like, what is right about this? Or I'll say, okay, universe, show me the next best step with this. And that's just an invitation to receive more awareness. You can be asking someone, you can be asking a colleague, you could be asking a coach. By the way, if you don't have a coach, you're missing out on really riding changes much easier, because a coach isn't as invested in your business as you are and doesn't have the fear that you have. A coach is one of the best things I ever did for myself and for my business. You should have a coach, and every coach should have a coach, so you can become a better coach for everybody else there that's looking for you to be their coach. Okay, I'll stop preaching. But this is very, very important. These are such important points right out of the gate that I want you to get. You've got to be willing to be open to the change. If you're asking for more in your business, you're asking for more prosperity, you're asking, desiring, wishing, and hoping for more clientele, more opportunities, more financial wealth to flow in. If you are asking for those things, but you're resistant to change, how's that going to work? You are actually resisting the change that could bring in more financial prosperity, more financial wealth. That is one thing that right away you've got to get. That resistance is stopping everything from coming in. Imagine if you were open and the wealth of prosperity started to flow. The wealth of opportunity started to flow. The wealth of clientele started to really contact you, reach out to you, and see and hear you in a way that they've never seen or heard you before. That alone should compel you to drop the resistance to change. And when you feel like that resistance to change comes up, I want you to spend some time with it. I want you to ask yourself some questions like, why am I resisting this? What is it that I believe about this change that I don't want to allow in? What do I think is going to actually happen if I allow this change to come through? Be with that. It's probably some old belief system that you bought into from somebody else, maybe when you were growing up in your family, maybe businesses that you've been part of, maybe companies you worked for and you heard somebody say something and you've really held on to that belief as tight. Well, what if that's no longer true? Beliefs can change, just like everything. Okay, we are up to our first break of the show. I'm Christine McIver. We're on the Inspired Choices show on our home platform, Inspired Choices Network. Tonight, we're talking all about shifting tides in business. Stick around, my friends. We'll be right back with more information to support you and your business.
Many of us make choices based on our past experiences or based on what others believe. What would our lives be like if we made our choices based on what we desire for our futures? When you join the Inspired Choices show with business optimization expert Christine McIver, you'll be provoked to look at what is true and what you know, but may not choose, that requires your attention. Christine does not hold back. She brings all her expertise to every show. Are you ready to create and live the life you truly desire? Listen for Inspired Choices every Wednesday at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 7 p.m. Central, 6 p.m. Mountain, and 5 p.m. Pacific on InspiredChoicesNetwork.com.
Are you a subject matter expert? Are you here to share your expertise with an audience waiting to hear from you in only the way you can deliver? Are you ready to have your voice amplified across the airwaves? Inspired Choices Network has a global radio platform streaming to millions of people across the world. Professionally produced and supported by an accomplished team every step of the way, you can broadcast from anywhere in the world, knowing your voice matters, and we ensure it is delivered with ease and efficiency. Eager to hear your message, the world awaits. Contact us today to become an Inspired Choices Network radio host. Email becomeahost@inspiredchoicesnetwork.com.
This is the Inspired Choices Show with business optimization expert Christine McIver. To participate in the program, join our live studio audience in our chat room at InspiredChoicesNetwork.com. You can also make the choice to ask or comment by email by sending to Christine@inspiredchoices.ca. Now, back to the program.
Welcome back, my friends. Thank you so much for being here tonight. If you've just joined, we're talking about shifting tides in business and how that we can move through those shifting tides. In the first segment, we really talked about resistance and about how change is so inevitable. Now I'd like to jump into the next area, and I really want to talk about how do you lead yourself through change? It's one of those things that seems really odd, but you do lead yourself. You lead yourself by the choices that you make and by the challenges you put in front of you. One of the challenges that I've put in front of myself is to allow myself to receive more opportunities. Now, I know that that sounds weird, but when you have ever had, which I have had, that saboteur in your world, or you've had those voices, that ego that is trying to protect you and is saying, oh, you know what, don't worry about that, just stay safe, don't do extras, or that voice that is really saying that you're an imposter, you can't possibly do those other things. When you have those voices come in, they're not true. Anything negative that you hear is something that was put there that, at some time you got scared about it. When you're willing to allow yourself to see this as not true and that you are a brilliant being that's here to make a contribution to the world, and you're willing to say, okay, I am going to challenge myself on these negative thoughts. I'm going to challenge myself to really know the brilliance that I am and the absolute positive contribution I am to the world, even if it's just a one person you can think of that you've made a contribution to. That's leading yourself through change. And so developing self-awareness is such a critical piece to you moving through the shifting tides in business. What the hell is self-awareness, right? I can remember one time I had a boss who said to me, Christine, you're just not self-aware. Well, you know what? Maybe he was right. But I don't think he was, but maybe he was. It is absolutely something that I have been working on for more than 20 years, is becoming more self-aware. What does that mean? It's being aware of the truth of you. I was talking to a friend today and I was complaining about something. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I don't want to be complaining. That's being self-aware. When you hear yourself doing something and you're like, oh, that's not who I want to be. That's not who I'm choosing to be. You see, you can choose as well. And that's how we make the change. And I said to her, I said, oh, I don't want to be that person that is always complaining. And she said to me, well, you're not, you're just complaining right now. I said, yeah, I know, but that's just something I want to be aware of. And so that is being willing to look at yourself and look at the choices that you're making, either by speaking, by action, or by thought, and really being willing to be with the truth of you and acknowledging that doesn't work for me. That's not what I want to take with me in the future. Being self aware is not a one and done. Being self aware is listening to your thoughts, is listening to the words out of your mouth. It's even watching your emotions on how maybe you're getting triggered. When these things come up, it's your responsibility to pay attention and to make another choice. That is the change that you need to be embracing so you can have a more joyful and pleasurable life. When you are being self aware, pardon me, and you are expanding your self awareness, you're expanding your emotional intelligence, that's where you are going to build up resilience and you're going to build up the ability to change when change is required. You're no longer going to be at the effect of what's going on around you because you will have developed the ability to check in. You'll have developed the ability to, like, oh, this is upsetting me. I wonder why it's upsetting me. And that may sound weird if you haven't done a whole lot of self development work, if you haven't done self awareness work. It is so critical that we spend time with our thoughts and we pay attention to our thoughts and our words. These are the things that we can control. These are the things that we can change. I was talking to someone recently, and we were talking about some things that are happening in the world. And what was coming from her was so cool. She said, I'm going to choose to believe. And it doesn't matter what she said after that, but and she's not someone that puts blinders on, right? She really is holding the intention that she's going to walk the path in this direction and she's going to choose to believe. And in doing that, she is going to make the choices that work for her. It's not about her looking outside of herself and trying to mimic or trying to create within her business from what's going on outside. It's really about her coming from within herself. And that is empowering. And that's also the way that you can move through the changes. We've got to develop this personal side of ourselves. As an entrepreneur, you have to understand that you are leading yourself and your team through your business. You're leading yourself first, and then you're leading your team. You're leading by what's going on within you, and what's going on within you requires your attention every single solitary day. Every single solitary day. The words, the actions, the choices, the planning, the creation, everything you are doing is leading you through your business and leading your team through your business. It's also leading your clients. It's creating the products, whatever it is that you're creating. It starts with you, the business owner. You have to make your personal development a major priority every single solitary day. It can be as little as self reflection 2 or 3 times a day for maybe 2 or 3 minutes. It can be taking an hour in the morning, an hour at the end of the day. It can be jotting down a few thoughts during the day, at the end of the day. There's no right or wrong quantity to this. But what you want to do is you want to develop that muscle of self awareness and continue to evolve. You are never done until you're done, right? Until you leave that body, you're not done growing, and neither is your business. When you embrace this and you really make you a priority, you will have the tools that you need, the resilience that you need, the consciousness that is required for you to move through anything that changes in your world, because you will be able to check in, not get over triggered, not get blown away, not get destroyed emotionally from anything that's occurring. Remember, change is inevitable. Choice is always available. You want to be able to develop flexibility. You need to be able to develop flexibility and understand that, okay, change is going to come. So what's required today? What's required today? It's kind of like walking into your kitchen and looking at what's required today. Oh, well, I got to go get some milk today. I need to do the dishes today. Asking yourself that and asking your business what's required today allows you to stay in flexibility, not coming in with an expectation that nothing is going to change and everything's going to be just, structured in. Building a strong team and fostering a culture of innovation is one of the greatest things that you can do in your business. I am always asking my team for ideas. They have got brilliances in areas I don't have. I know that they have capacities I don't have, and they're looking at things from a different angle than I am. I want to hear what they have to say, and I know that they can contribute into the business in ways I'll never be able to do. And being open, right? And getting out of your ego that you have to be the one that comes up with all the ideas in your business. that's a beginning step. I'm telling you, that's a big one. I could feel my ego being really ticked off in the beginning when I had team members that brought these fabulous ideas to the table. And I had to sit down and have a little conversation with myself. How many of you have ever felt that when somebody has brought an idea forth in your business and you didn't want them to be the brilliant ones, right? It's crazy. It's crazy. When somebody brings you an idea, they want to contribute to you. So check in on your level of receiving. Your level of receiving lovely compliments, support, cheerleaders, ideas, financial, whatever those contributions are, your level of receiving says a lot about your ability to receive the changes in the world. So if you're not willing to receive these beautiful things from the world and the people around you, how open are you to receiving change? Right? We have so many places that we have resistance built up, which is completely not necessary. Okay, I still have so much more that I want to share with you. Don't go away. We're going to have another quick break. And when we get back, we're going to jump back into everything about business and change and choices. All right, my friends, you're listening to Christine McIver. I'm your host of the Inspired Choices show here on the Inspired Choices Network. We'll be right back.
Many of us make choices based on our past experiences or based on what others believe. What would our lives be like if we made our choices based on what we desire for our futures? When you join the Inspired Choices show with business optimization expert Christine McIver, you'll be provoked to look at what is true and what you know, but may not choose, that requires your attention. Christine does not hold back. She brings all her expertise to every show. Are you ready to create and live the life you truly desire? Listen for Inspired Choices every Wednesday at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 7 p.m. Central, 6 p.m. Mountain, and 5 p.m. Pacific on InspiredChoicesNetwork.com.
How wonderful would it be to carry your favorite Inspired Choices Network host with you throughout your day? Well, now you can. Inspired Choices Network now has its very own mobile app. Our free app offers live streaming shows, along with thousands of podcasts and TV episodes. Our shows cover a wide variety of topics. Whether you're waking up with us, carrying us through the day, and taking us to bed with you, we're always here for you to enjoy. We're easy to find. Just search for Inspired Choices Network in the Apple App Store or Google Play Store.
This is the Inspired Choices Show with business optimization expert Christine McIver. To participate in the program, join our live studio audience in our chat room at InspiredChoicesNetwork.com. You can also make the choice to ask or comment by email by sending to Christine at InspiredChoices.ca. Now, back to the program.
Welcome back, my friends. Yes, you're listening to the Inspired Choices show. I'm your host, Christine McIver. Tonight, we're talking about shifting tides in business. How many of us have been in business for a minute or many, many years? And right now, for whatever reason, it feels like the rug's being pulled out from under us. It's not. What is actually going on are changes. Changes are happening. Changes are inevitable. What if the changes are happening, are occurring, are rising into your world because of what you've been desiring? What if those changes are actually shifting you forward and the changes are not pulling you down? Have you ever imagined? Have you ever opened up to, I'm ready to receive the change because I know that change is contributing to me? Rarely. Rarely. Most people are afraid. Most people are afraid of what's coming because they don't know what's coming. Well, what if you let go of control? What if you let go of assuming that everything's going to be negative? You're a smart person. You're developing your awareness. You've got choices. You are loved. You're supported in the world. What if you allowed the universe to have your back and you know beyond a shadow of a doubt that you've come through so many challenges in your life that any change you're going to be able to weather. You've weathered every change up to this point in your life. You've had so many. I'm talking to myself and I'm talking to all of you that are listening. It's absolutely 100% true. Stop listening to that negative voice. That ego in your mind is there to protect you because of the bears and the wolves that were out there many lifetimes ago. That's no longer true, but it still operates inside of our brain. How about you stop operating from your brain and you start operating from your heart? You started following the love that you have for yourself and the love that you know is available to you. Imagine what kind of a world you could create for yourself and what kind of a business you could create for yourself if you allowed that to come through. Let's let the brains do the math and do the systems and do all of that, but not lead us in our beliefs, not lead us in our emotions. Come from your heart. And I'm telling you, this is a girl. This is a girl that has allowed negative thoughts in my brain to impact me my entire life. This is a girl that has operated from the space of fear for so many years. But thankfully, my heart jumped in many times. And I'm choosing going forward to allow my heart to be the leader, to allow what I know deep within my soul to be the leader, not my brain. My brain only stores past thoughts. And if I want to improve my life, improve my reality, I can't operate from my brain, and neither can you. That brings us to the next point that I wanted to go over. And I want to talk about understanding how choices can shape your future business. Understanding that when you get yourself right, and then you start to look at your business and look at where the gaps are in your business, you are going to see that you have choices. When you understand that there are choices available for you every day in your business, that you can choose to no longer be at the effect of things that you're not great at. You can choose to no longer be at the effect of lack. Lack is a lie. There's no lack in the universe. There's no lack in nature. If you ever need a reminder of that, go for a walk in the woods. I can remember many years ago walking in the woods and I looked around at all the leaves on the trees. And there were so many leaves, like I couldn't count the number of leaves on one tree. And this was a forest full of plenty trees. And there was just hundreds of thousands of leaves. And I just really got at that moment that there's no lack, that the leaves and the trees just keep coming and keep coming. Opportunities keep coming. But the lies that we buy or the resistance that we put up stops them. Understand that your choices that you make every single day lead you to the future business that you desire. But you've got to be willing to really shift your mindset and be open to receiving new ideas, new thoughts, and really identifying where is the gaps? What am I not great at? What does somebody else do that I know they do way better than me? What would it take for me to have that person as part of my team, even if it's 1 hour a week? What if somebody can come into your reality and what they could do in 1 hour would take you 10? Would that change things for you in your business? Would that change things for you in your level of frustration? Would it change things for you in your ability to have more joy and prosperity? When you are enjoying your day and you have the ability to create more, you have the ability to enjoy things more, you will be at a level of attracting in people that are looking for that level of joy. No matter what it is that you do in business, you will attract people in. But operating from push, resistance, the belief that you have to do everything yourself, that is the change that is shifting you, that's trying to shift you forward. There are so many brilliantly talented, loving, kind, generous, and people in the world that are available to connect with you. I really want to invite you to be open to receive from those people. Get out of your head about the money. The money will show up, the money will be there. You've got to resist first. You've got to resist buying into the lie that it won't be. It's always been there. You've always been able to move forward. You know you have. What if, and I want to challenge you, what if for the next 60 days, you just allowed yourself to be open to the possibility that the changes coming forward that have felt uncomfortable for you are actually there to contribute to what you've been asking for, what you've been dreaming about, what you've been desiring. Those changes are there to serve you, not to bring you down. Even the changes in politics, even the changes in our world, they are moving us forward, even when they feel really, really uncomfortable. It's how we receive them, how we perceive what's happening that changes things for us personally. Making informed decisions based on not just data, but your intuition in your business is crucial. And knowing that, bringing that data together and checking in on what's true for you, what really feels like this is a positive thing for me to choose. If you're worried, if you, for instance, if you really get that it's time to change your pricing, and you look at your pricing, and I'm going to make up some numbers. Let's say you charge $100 an hour, and you really get that it's time to up level your pricing. It's time to really start to change because you're bringing so much more value to the table. But you look outside and you see somebody else that's charging 300, and you want to put 300 on, but you've got so massive amount of resistance. You're uncomfortable. You feel the idea of saying that to someone makes you kind of sick or nauseous. That's not what's true for you. What if just checking in on what is a challenge for me? What's a stretch for me? But that's something that I can move myself through. That's the new price point, not looking out at somebody else. That's where you want to be making informed decisions, both on the data and on your intuition. Marry those two things together. Allow both of them to be your partners in your business when you're looking at what's happening. Be open to checking in on the financial health of your business. Be open to challenging yourself to learn more about your finances, to understand your finances better. You don't need to be the accountant. You don't need to be the bookkeeper, but spend some time with someone who can educate you more and really point you into what's occurring in your business, so you're not making decisions based on I have to, or based on fear, or getting caught at the end of the year thinking, oh my gosh, I have no idea what's going on. I'm afraid that I'm going to have to pay a big tax bill, right? Become more educated with finances, and then begin to work with your accountant, your bookkeeper, in setting up a better plan going forward to be able to manage cash flow, to be able to put things in place that don't have you be in fear and worry, and really strengthening. When you strengthen your financial knowledge about what's happening in your business, you're going to be a more confident business owner. You're going to start to value yourself more. You're going to value what you bring to the table. You're going to see what it is that each dollar does for you, and what it is that each dollar does for other people that you're bringing services and products to. So get really healthy about your business finances. Get really healthy about what it looks like to make really great, sound investment decisions. These are the changes that will contribute to you. And you making choices in that direction is going to support you moving forward. It's not just talking to your best friend, or it's not just talking to other people that are doing it, that they will get a benefit from you doing that. It's speaking to someone that's educated, has experience, and is not benefiting from the choices that you're going to be making. We are up to our last break of the show. These shows go so fast, I could talk for days, and the show's just about over. So we're going to go for our last break. I'm going to wrap this all up when we get back. Thank you again for listening. Stick around. You're listening to Inspired Choices. I'm your host, Christine McIver, here on the Inspired Choices show on our home platform, the Inspired Choices Network. We'll be right back.
Many of us make choices based on our past experiences or based on what others believe. What would our lives be like if we made our choices based on what we desire for our futures? When you join the Inspired Choices show with business optimization expert Christine McIver, you'll be provoked to look at what is true and what you know, but may not choose, that requires your attention. Christine does not hold back. She brings all her expertise to every show. Are you ready to create and live the life you truly desire? Listen for Inspired Choices every Wednesday at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 7 p.m. Central, 6 p.m. Mountain, and 5 p.m. Pacific on InspiredChoicesNetwork.com.
Are you a subject matter expert? Are you here to share your expertise with an audience waiting to hear from you in only the way you can deliver? Are you ready to have your voice amplified across the airwaves? Inspired Choices Network has a global radio platform streaming to millions of people across the world. Professionally produced and supported by an accomplished team every step of the way, you can broadcast from anywhere in the world, knowing your voice matters, and we ensure it is delivered with ease and efficiency. Eager to hear your message, the world awaits. Contact us today to become an Inspired Choices Network radio host. Email becomeahost@inspiredchoicesnetwork.com.
This is the Inspired Choices Show with business optimization expert Christine McIver. To participate in the program, join our live studio audience in our chat room at InspiredChoicesNetwork.com. You can also make the choice to ask or comment by email by sending to Christine@InspiredChoices.ca. Now, back to the program.
Yes, we're back to the program. We're talking about shifting tides in business. They're happening. They're always happening. They're always going to happen. The outcome of those shifting tides are based on you. The choices that you make, the choices that you make about yourself, the choices that you make in your business, the choices that you make with your team, the choices that you make in taking care of you and understanding that you are the most valuable asset in your business. Understanding that your nervous system, the way that you are moving through your day, the way that you take care of your mind and your body and your spirit has more to do with business success than hiring all the special people in the world. You are the top priority in your business. You, the entrepreneur, remember, you're the leader in your business, even if you're just leading yourself through business. Taking care of you is going to empower you to really move through the changes and the obstacles in business, right? So we want to be able to develop ourselves so that we can develop problem solving skills, that we can develop critical thinking skills. Those things can come when we are in a stable, calm place. When we are whirling from all of the changes or worrying about what's happening in our business, we are not going to be able to move through the challenges, through those times when we need to use critical thinking, when we need to be using problem solving skills. That's so important to understand how vital these things are. One of the biggest things that we talk about, but many people often have a trouble doing, is building a strong support network. Again, I'm not talking about your bestie. I'm talking about someone else, other people that are in business, other people that have been there, that are willing to be vulnerable and tell you about where they've been and are willing to tell you the truth. There's not a lot of people in the world that are A, willing to tell somebody the truth, and B, people are willing to actually hear the truth. I remember one time I was talking to a friend and I asked her a question and she kind of went, "Oh, yeah, okay, well, never mind." And I said, "No, don't never mind me. Tell me the truth." I'm willing to hear the truth, especially when it's from someone I know that cares about me. People that really care about you, they're willing to tell you the truth so that you can move forward. They're willing to deliver it in a way that you won't resist it. B, you will hear it. And C, you won't resent them for it. You've got to be willing to hear it first in order for you to attract people into your life that are going to be a support to you. You don't want yes people around you. You want people that love you and care enough about you to tell you the truth and be there to celebrate with you as you move forward. So developing a really strong support network is so important, and that could be 2 or 3 people. It doesn't need to be hundreds of people. And understand that everything you do in life, and especially everything you do in business, the first time you do it, you may not get it right. The first time you do it, you're learning, right? It's like the very first time you did anything. Do you remember the first time you got behind the wheel of a car? You weren't great. You probably messed up. Maybe you, like me, you hit the gas and you actually dug out a lot of the grass on the lawn. And then when you hit the brake because you scared yourself, you know, I love driving today, but I wasn't great at it the first time I did it. You're not great at anything you do the first time. You're not proficient at it. So understand that as you're doing things in your business, you're growing and you're learning. It's not a failure, it's a learning and growing time. Don't allow it to set you back, allow it to lift you up. Again, it's about perspective. When you understand this from the perspective of you are growing and you're willing to grow and you know that you're growing and that you are okay, you're going to be okay, you've always been okay, you'll move through these changes. Embrace the changes and understand that you can always, always, always make another choice. You can. If you're struggling in business, you're struggling financially, you can choose to go work for someone else. You don't have to stay in your own business. You can choose to hire somebody else. You don't have to do it alone. You can make other choices. You're not a victim. You're not a victim. You can have tough times. You can need love and support. Absolutely. But you're not a victim. And when you embrace that truth, you're going to start to shift forward and you're going to allow yourself to be strong no matter what the shifting tides are. Remember to always be willing to look at continuously learning and growing. Be willing to look at what's going on within yourself. Develop a positive outlook on you first, and then your business, and then the world around you. Put you at the center of your life, not from an ego perspective, but from a safe, healthful perspective. And then allow yourself to grow within your family, within your relationships, within your community, and within your business. You are the critical aspect of your business, and you being willing to be with what's true right now and examining the changes that are happening and what are required, that's what's going to keep you moving forward, my friends. You can do this. I absolutely know that. Listen, I've said a lot tonight. As I often do, I keep going and going. I want to invite you to connect with me. If you're struggling, even just having a conversation, I would love to contribute to you. If you're looking to work with a coach who will have your back, who will challenge you, who will help you to find the gaps and put the systems in place, I'm your girl. I would love to have a conversation. Send me an email, Christine@ChristineMcIver.com. Let's have a conversation. I'd love to get to know you, and I'd love to see how I can contribute to you. Happy business owners in the world create a happy world to me. So, my friends, stick around. Come back again next week. We'll have another show where I'll invite you to grow. I'll invite you to challenge your thoughts. I will invite you to see what's possible. And I'll invite you to grow yourself and your business in a way that contributes to you and contributes to everyone else that you know. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you. And if this was a value to you, I would love for you to connect on iTunes and give us a 5-star review, because when you're doing that, it actually gets information out to other people that are looking for it as well. Thank you, everyone, for being here. I want you to remember that no matter what occurs in your world, you can always make another choice. Take good care, and we'll talk to you real soon. Bye for now. Bye.
Thank you for choosing to listen to Inspired Choices Show. Christine McIver will return next Wednesday at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 7 p.m. Central, 6 p.m. Mountain, and 5 p.m. Pacific on InspiredChoicesNetwork.com. We hope you'll join us. Until then, be willing to choose what you really desire. This is your life, making the choices that bring you all that you desire.